Yes.
Yes.
Yesy match.
We are recordings.
All right. So welcome to the Sketchbook Heroes podcast with me, Ilias.
And me, Robert.
And this is episode number
93.
93.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
That's exactly what it is.
And we're in collaboration with 21 Draw. That is 21-draw.com.
Or Instagram 21draw.
Yeah, so up your artistic superpowers and give powers.
No, super pirates.
Super pirates and
Yes.
give them a visit.
Yes. Arg.
Yeah. Motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't podcasted in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Feels like an eternity.
Yeah, you
Or
guys
2
don't
minutes.
notice that we haven't podcasted because you got the super awesome filler episode.
Filler. Yes. The good part about that was that the filler was recorded not too long ago, so it was still
But-
kind of relevant to like the virus and everything. So we were
I
like,
don't remember.
we were talking about stuff that was still sort of now.
Yeah.
So
Of course we
it didn't feel like we recorded it 5 years ago, which we actually did.
No.
But yeah, no, I like that episode. It was I thought it was going to be horrible and extremely boring.
And sometimes they are.
Yes, I'd say most of the time. But it was good. Yes. And so why we had the little hiatus was because I, Robert, was on a 1 week vacation with Anna, celebrating our birthdays. So the the super weird thing about me and Anna is that she her birthday is the day before my birthday, and this wasn't planned in any way. I don't know what happened. We just met, and then all of a sudden, yeah, we share the same fucking birthday, pretty much. So we start celebrating her birthday, and then after 12, we celebrate my birthday, which means every year from the year I met Anna, I have been extremely hungover on my birthdays.
You want to tell us more about that? No, just,
Oh, I can. Oh, I can. I could drag this out forever.
no, just
No.
like from when I texted you that day.
Oh man, yeah. I'll get to that. But so the original plan. I'll just run through this because why the fuck not? The original plan was or is actually that Anna wants to celebrate every birthday in a different country if she can, like
Smart.
just
I like
to mix it
Yeah.
up a bit. So every year since some time she's been trying to get away for a bit, just over a weekend or something, just to see a new place and celebrate her birthday. This year obviously wasn't as easy as the other years. The original plan was to go to Denmark and visit my friends at Lego and see Denmark, pretty much. But we couldn't do that, so the compromise was let's just rent a fucking car and drive and see sort of where we end up. The only plan we had was that we wanted to meet up with some friends in Halmstad, and that was like the last stop before we drove back home. But apart from that, it was pretty much very improvised, all of it. Like we booked a hotel room the first night just so we had a place to crash and sort of, point A to B. And then from there, we just improvised and it was great. So we just went down to the southern part of Sweden to pretty much the heat and sun, and it was amazing, and sitting outside and drinking beer and eating good food and just fucking driving forever and ever and ever and not seeing
Sounds
anything.
like you were driving drunk. Like, we're
Yeah.
eating, and then we drank, and then we drove.
No, I drank. So I've never actually tried any of the alcohol-free beers and stuff, but I had to do that now because I was driving, and they were great. Actually, really tasty.
Some of them are really
Yeah,
good,
like even tastier than the ones with alcohol. So that was a good surprise. And it didn't bother me at all, to be honest. Like the only thing that bothered me was that I had to drive all the time, so I couldn't really relax and get into vacation mode because like once we ended up in a place, it was just, sleep and then get back into the car. And she hasn't driven for I don't know how long, so she was very uncomfortable with even the thought of driving.
Oh shit.
So,
Okay, yeah.
you know, I'm okay with driving, but I'm still like a little bit sweaty. So to me, it's like it was a good practice, and I got back into it pretty quick. And it was an automatic anyway, so it's just like driving a go-kart through Sweden. But yeah, so we did that, and then, like I said, the plan was to end up in Halmstad, which is on the west coast-ish, and meet up with some tattoo friends and see their new shop and just hang out with them. And that was on Anna's birthday, and she turned 30. So, yeah, we got very drunk, like really, really drunk, which normally happens when you go partying with tattoo people. And because I am the smart man that I am, I had already predicted that I was going to be extremely hungover on my birthday. So I booked us the king suite of this hotel. And I'm serious, like, it was the king suite. There were pictures of the king in the suite, which I had to turn around because it was just fucking weird having the king watch me sleep. But why I chose this was because we had our own fucking jacuzzi in the bathroom. And my only thing is, like, when I get hungover, I get so hungover that I can't move. If I move, I puke. And I set a new record, which was great for puking this year.
Personal best.
It was so horrible. Like, I couldn't move up until pretty much when we texted.
You started texting.
Yeah, which was like 6, 7, 8 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
Man, I am old. I'm not. My body is not made to party like this anymore. Like, god damn, that was horrible. But again, just worth it because we had a great time the night before, and yeah. So the whole of my birthday was me puking all day up until ending up in the hot tub or the jacuzzi.
But Anna was fine?
Anna was fine. Like, she was hungover as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she had like a little bit of a headache and stuff. But no, she had to do like a little trip in the city on her own and just walk around. I was like, sorry, babe. I can't move. But yeah, and then we just watched a really, really, really bad Ryan Reynolds movie and fell asleep. So, fantastic.
Which one?
It was called Captive, I think.
Never heard of it.
It's, yeah, I hadn't heard of it either. It was like just his big face on the cover. And it's about him being a father to a girl that gets kidnapped. And then a few years later, they find out that she's not dead. She's alive. And she's something. And then...
And do you care at all?
No, you don't. No. And it's so, like, the narrative structure of this movie is so weird. Like, it jumps between times, but it never gives you a heads up that it's jumping between times. So it's just like he's walking and then going into a different room. But when he walks into the different room, that's 8 years earlier. But you don't know that because he looks exactly the same. And it's just, yeah, it was so bad. It was just really bad. Not in a good way. Like,
but like, isn't every movie with Ryan Reynolds except Deadpool that basically? Like,
yeah,
there's like maybe one other.
Van Wilder, I guess, is like one of the other ones.
Van the Man.
Yeah, and then that's it. Green Lantern, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I just rewatched Deadpool
Don't make
too.
superhero
So good.
Suit.
But yeah, no. So that's what we did. We did a little road trip for a week, and that's why we couldn't record. And but yeah, happy belated birthday to Anna and myself. Yes, I will egotistically say happy birthday to me, because that's what I do apparently. And snippety snip, edit, and that's gone.
And that's gone.
Yes, magic. Yes, but I will leave the snippety snip and edit in, so nobody will ever know what I was talking about. Yes, mindfuck.
Whoa.
So what would you do? What did you do during the week that I was missing?
I don't know, yard stuff and work, basically, like all the time. Plus,
What's the difference between yard stuff and work? Because that sounds like work
it is
to me.
work, but one I don't get paid for. I waste money doing it.
Yeah.
The yard work, that is.
That's hard work and then work.
Yeah. So, but I've been working a lot, like working out at my gym. I've even had my wife join me on every session, basically.
Oh, really?
Yep. So we've
Nice.
been
Good job,
working-
Maria. I know
Yeah.
you're not listening, but good job.
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So life is, the same.
Bubble.
Yeah. So you live in your bubble and you judge others. No, just kidding. No, just like really haven't done anything worth mentioning. The will to draw is back though, so I've been live streaming more.
I have noticed.
And
We joined, I think,
Also-
one of them.
you did?
Yeah, we did. Just like a little.
Oh yeah,
Quick-
sure.
quick
Yeah,
one.
quick one. Yeah, at the end there on the first ones.
Yeah.
I think it was the first one actually.
Oh,
that you
really?
Joined. Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to see
and
what
I've
you were doing.
I think I've done like 4, and it's been hella fun.
Nice.
And also Instagram for some reason is doing well again. I'm not even going to try to understand it.
So maybe they're listening to the podcast.
I don't think so.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Because and I'm not even trying to understand it anymore. Like it's going well, just let it go well, and then just move on.
Going frozen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you can't like put too much into it. So now it's going well, and then in a week's time it'll probably go back, or like a month, whatever it takes. Like that's what it does. So I'm just posting when I have something to post. I do the live streams, and they've been really fun. Me and Matthias Anderson draw art or
Yeah.
drawing. Fuck.
Drawing.
No, drawing is the old one.
Fuck.
Matthias Anderson art.
That's
yeah,
it.
and
Matthias
underscores between the words.
Yes.
Well, he and I just like, okay, well, I'll just join my stream and then we'll draw together. You'll get half the screen, I get half the screen on Instagram.
Awesome.
And we were basically just singing old songs. We realized that we were just singing songs from like 90s to 2000s and just drawing and talking shit.
Of course.
And then
Which is what we do.
Yeah, and we had just awesome people join in and out, like ass patting us and laughing at our stupidity.
As you do.
Yep.
Cool. All right. We've babbled long enough. I
Long
think
enough,
the
so-
only reason people even listen to this podcast is because of the intro song. So let's just give them what they want.
Intro song, yeah.
Let's fucking do it. Where's the energy, Elias? You got more energy. Yes, intro song. Go, go, go.
Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons, even with beards and tattoos. They haven't changed at all. Feeling sketchbooks every night, getting fed away they try. Sketchbook hero, imagination burning. Sketchbook hero, sketchbook hero, pick up the sketchbook hero. They don't seem to have any life.
And we're back.
Yes.
And today we'll be talking about tracing.
Your mother's a tracer.
Exactly. And if you get that reference, you're cool. You're not getting any prize because it'll take me a year to send.
Yeah, exactly.
But on
Yeah.
the subject of
Prize.
tracing,
Prizes.
everyone has everyone has that friend that traces, and you hate him
Yeah.
because you're studying and you're trying to learn, and that motherfucker just keeps tracing.
And just taking credit for everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. I did that when I was a kid, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we've all done it at some
Actually,
point.
no, I didn't do it that way. So this is a little bit of a segue, but this is art theft in the worst possible way.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I got a nice drawing that was traced by a dude.
Mm-hmm.
I took it, and obviously he had convinced me that he hadn't traced it because he was just really, really good at drawing.
Mm-hmm.
So I took it home and signed it and gave it to my mom and like, look what I did.
Nice.
It's still in that pamphlet thing. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
The lie still
Yes.
lives.
So, like, I don't know. I was maybe like 6, 7 or something. But
You had no morals, Robert.
no, I still don't.
Filth.
Still don't.
Filth.
Yeah, filth, Florin.
Florn filth.
So that's my
Yeah.
art theft story. There you go.
Exactly.
But it was traced. It was
But-
fucking traced.
It was
God damn you, David. I know you traced it. David. Daniel.
Daniel.
David.
Daniel David.
Daniel. Yeah, Day-Lewis.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it was. Daniel Day-Lewis. That was the guy.
Some dude back in the day. Sorry for not remembering your name.
Mm,
fucking
I
tracer.
don't care. Yeah, fucking tracer. So, yeah. So we all hate the tracers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what if we told you that tracing is an awesome tool for learning?
And we're not talking about the parkour tracing.
Exactly.
Tracer.
Oh my god.
Just making sure nobody is, not confused. I'm trying to confuse
Yeah.
everybody.
Even
right
I'm
now.
confused now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, what?
Tracing.
So, just like using tracing to learn.
Yes.
But before we dive into that, you should never trace stuff and then post it online and say that you drew it.
No, because
Is
you're
that-
going to be found the fuck out,
Yeah.
called out, and lynch mobbed,
Yeah.
probably.
And if you
On a
do
good
it,
day.
you should write that I traced this and I just wanted to paint and learn, whatever the fuck it is you want
Yeah.
to do with it. Be very clear about that, and it's fine to trace,
Of course.
But as soon as you just trace something, even if it's for studying, if you don't write it, people will fucking kill you because
I mean,
you
that's
know-
a way. It is a form of stealing.
of course it is.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get, you're trying to sort of like I don't know what to call
Mooch.
it. Mooch. Thank you. That was the word. Off other people's, work.
Yeah.
And that's always wrong.
Don't be a moocher or a leech.
You moocher.
Yeah.
But then again, tracing is an awesome way to learn stuff.
It is. It's one of the best tools, I
Yeah.
say, to sort of cheat your way
Mhm.
forward in the best possible way, really.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, don't do it or overdo it. But
Mhm.
like, if you are stuck and you can't nail this particular pose or
Mhm.
whatever, like, which other way are you gonna do it? Like,
Yeah.
of course, you could just sit there for days and days and try to just sketch out this pose, and you'll get
Yeah.
so frustrated, and then eventually make it
You-
work, and you
yeah.
will learn.
Yeah.
That's great. But if
But
you're
it also might take years. Because
Exactly.
there are some things that I try drawing
still to
over
this day
and
can't.
over. And
Yep.
it's just like, I just wanted to learn by looking.
Yeah.
And it's such a dumb fucking approach. It's like, it's not learning smart. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. It's learning
just-
stupid.
It's learning stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spend like 10,000 hours, but then you just take fucking tracing paper or your iPad and put it on top of, the
5 hours
image you
later.
want to.
Yeah.
5 hours later, you're like, oh, that was it.
Ta-da!
And that's why, like, the 10,000 hours, if you use them stupidly,
They're gonna turn into
gonna-
100,000 hours. Yeah.
of wasted time,
Yeah.
basically. Because the thing is, it's not about the amount of time you spend on a subject, because you could draw for, your whole life. I've seen people draw. Like the dude that I've mentioned before that drew my wife's tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago, almost, not 30 years, but 20 years ago, he drew her tattoo on her 18th birthday, and I saw his work just a few years ago.
There's no difference.
There's no difference. Like, he was never good,
Mm.
but he never got better either. Like even the stuff that isn't, like the stylistic tattoo, like old school tattoos and stuff, even that shit looks bad. Like, because there's a specific style to it.
Yeah, it's supposed to
don't
look sort of baddish.
Exactly,
you know.
but there is still structure to it.
Yeah, you can
His
tell
stuff,
if you can or can't draw when you do that stuff.
exactly,
Okay.
because that stuff, like when I see it, I'm like, it's not my stuff, but I totally can appreciate it
Yeah,
as
you-
a style.
And you gotta respect it for what
But
it
when
is.
you see his versions of that, it looks like
No.
the poor man's version of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he never really evolved. Like, he just like, oh, I can draw because I hold a pencil.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Do you know how old he is?
Yeah, dude, he's like 60 now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so
So
fuck that.
he was already old.
He was older
when she got
it,
the
and
first
he
tattoo.
sucked.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
had been doing it for 30 years before that. That's
Yeah.
the thing, and he never got better.
But I could kind of understand that too. Like when you get to say 45,
A certain age, yeah.
like let's say I'm 45, I will definitely still be tattooing, or
Yeah.
hopefully at least. But I can imagine it being like more of a day-to-day job rather than me still wanting and being hungry to evolve.
Oh man,
Like-
yeah, I just can't see that in front of me.
Because it's in 10 years, you know? It's me doing this for 10 more years. Will I still be as hungry to evolve or not?
But I hate sucking. You know what I
Of
mean? Like,
course.
that's the thing. Like
No guy wants to suck.
this guy wants to suck. He's been sucking for like 60 years now.
A lot of people love sucking.
Suck.
So I'm really sorry if I offended anybody.
anyone who
Yeah,
likes-
yeah. You can suck as much as you want, how long you want.
Oh man, I could never live with myself
No.
if I didn't improve.
No. And that's the thing with us. Like,
Yeah.
we will never stop. That's the whole pop star
Yeah.
thing again. Like, never stop, never stopping.
stopping.
We are always going to be these two idiots just keep pushing and, like, inching our way forward through this fucking minefield of
Yeah.
shit.
Like
But-
that's how we are getting through it.
Yeah.
But then there's like these 16, 17-year-olds
On a
that are just
Segway,
like,
like,
yeah, just passing us by. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I could never, like, it feels like I'm, like, no, I couldn't draw if I didn't know that I was improving. Like, I need that carrot to sort of like, oh, look, I
100%.
discovered this thing that
Yeah.
this 17-year-old figured out. You know, like, and
Yeah,
then
but-
I'm happy that I'm,
But
like,
they probably figured it out because they listened to the podcast and we told them.
Of
Yeah.
course they
So
do.
that's why you guys listen, obviously, because
Obviously,
we are
because
just spouting out this amazing information that
And
just
yeah.
evolves everybody.
And I know that we just talk, but the visual image that we build up in your brain, that's what's helping you become better.
Exactly.
That's
you
why
all
we
see it?
have like 5-star ratings on iTunes.
Yeah. From your mom, right?
From your mom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why is my mom?
Yeah. I'm nagging my mom to get an iPhone so she can actually rate the
You
podcast.
should buy her an iPhone. And
Good
then,
idea.
and then
Fuck
you like,
yeah.
I wrote it for you even, Mom. You just have to press send on the.
Maybe that's what I should get my dad for his 60th birthday.
That is what you should
My
get.
mom an iPhone.
Yeah.
There you go, Dad.
Oh, thank you. So it's for Mom.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
So, tracing.
Tracing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say you have your favorite artist. They're doing this like gesture work, or like they're drawing with awesome shapes. Their characters are super bulky, and you love everything they do. They're magical, unicorn art that you can create.
I'm taking my clothes off just now, just so you know. So, keep talking.
And you want to be able to draw like them, and you've been drawing like them for a long time, or you're like emulating their style or trying to like do shapes and stuff like they do. And I think one of the best ways to learn, if it is very complex, is to break it down. Like take their artwork, like screenshot it, put it on your iPad, lower the opacity, or like your Wacom, whatever, like pull down the opacity, and then just put like a layer on top, or paper and pen, with tracing paper. It doesn't matter how you choose to
Light
do it.
box.
Yeah, exactly. A light box, your favorite panel on there, and then just, tracing paper. And then just break it down. Ignore the armor, ignore everything else. Start with the basic, like where is the character in perspective?
Yeah, use your X-ray vision. Really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then just deconstruct. If you know how to draw a face, like the boxes and all, like the
Yeah,
circles
all
and
the
the boxes,
lines
all the
and-
lines
yeah,
and everything. Break your character down like that. And then just like try to take the information like, oh, that arm is traveling towards me, that arm is going away from me, circle, box, whatever the fuck it is you do. And try to like really break it down, understand what they've done to get that language or like that shape language or that like expression
style,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, the style.
Yeah.
And try to understand how they draw the different things. And try not to get stuck on just one artist as
No.
well. Like try to learn from multiple artists and
Smorgasbord it.
and preferably like people that have been doing it for a long time that seem to know what they're doing. And because if you take another beginner, you're gonna also like take a lot of the mistakes. You'll do that with professionals as well because they take shortcuts that you don't understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I would say don't overthink it. If you like someone's art, no matter if they are professional or not, if that's appealing to you, trace that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't trace it to the point where you want to post it and it's the same fucking artwork.
Exactly. Because there is a difference.
There is a difference, yeah. But you could basically take something that someone else drew, like just steal the construction and then just paint your shit over it, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll look like a completely different image.
And that's going over to the tattoo industry is kind of what I do a lot of the time. Because not every day is like the luxury of me having something that I have created to do. Most of the time, the person comes in with an image that they want.
Yeah.
And most of those times, it's an image of a tattoo on somebody else's body. And I've said, oh shit, I've told this story a billion times. Everybody knows this is what happens. But sometimes those people are very adamant about me not changing anything. They want it looking exactly the same. But I say, fuck that, because you're still going to get your own authentic, unique tattoo when you come to me. So whether you can see it or not, I have always changed something in the image, even if I did trace it. Not to say that I do trace a lot. I don't. I use it as a template, pretty much the exact way Ilias described it now. I just take the image, lower the opacity, and then I sketch from scratch over it, making it my own, and go in that way about it. That way, it's going to feel a lot more natural to me when I tattoo it as well. It's sort of in the wrist already, like in muscle memory. And I'm going to feel like it's a unique tattoo, which in that way, it's going to make me feel a lot more comfortable taking your money. So that's pretty much the reason why. No, but in all honesty, I think the industry is suffering from this because more and more people are opening up shops and more people don't know how to fucking work, just like Maria's ex-tattoo artist, I guess.
Yeah.
They just trace. They just take the image. Some people probably don't even trace it. They just sort of photocopy it and then make a stencil on. Yeah, because you can find this if you just Google, what can you Google? Like traced tattoos, I guess. You're going to find some really, really fun stuff where you have this amazing piece of artwork on somebody's arm, but then all of a sudden there's a nipple on the side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because
somebody
traced it and it was on the chest and they added the nipple of the guy in the picture onto the arm. So now the person with the tattoo has a little nipple there. Yeah, little nip slip.
So fucking...
Yeah,
it's literally a nip slip.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So, like, in that way, it is ruining the industry.
Yeah.
But it's also, like, understandable, especially with Pinterest today. And, you know, it's just like...
Yeah.
Nothing is unique anymore. Even, like, the stuff that when I sit and try to come up with something unique, I still start with Pinterest.
Yeah.
Because I'm just dry. I can't think of stuff, or not as easily anymore. Still have some unique ideas, obviously, but fucking 80% of the time, seriously, just Pinterest, scroll. That looks interesting. Scroll. And then 2 hours later, playing video games.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's... So, yes, tracing is a big part of my business, at least. And I do respect it in, like, as much as I can. And, again, trying to make it into my own thing as much as possible. But with that said, I've also had to trace a lot of stuff, too. Because it's just the business. You got to make money.
Yep.
That's how it is.
And also the client wants what the client wants as
That's
well.
it.
Like, you can try to sort of talk them out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like try
Well,
to
you always do.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. But again, with the tracing, and you don't only have to trace, you know, your favorite artists. You can actually just trace photos.
Yeah,
Just trying to understand. Because sometimes when you look at I think that other people's art, like, depending on the style, of course, they're easier to break down for me than some photos. There's like so much like real life noise that you have to get rid of, and real life doesn't have contours or anything, you know, like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So it is sometimes easier to break down art than actual photos.
But we understand that language in a different way.
Yeah.
Because we've been looking at more images like that than photos, I guess.
Yeah. because I never wanted to draw realism. That has come later, basically.
Yeah.
Like when I realized I'm not that bad at drawing, but I could have done this so much smarter had I traced a little more when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I
agreed.
do that now with stuff that I like. I'm just like, okay, I don't understand this. How does this? As soon as, like, for example, something I understood when I started tracing, like a few years ago, was sort of overlapping shapes. Motherfucker. It's so simple. Like, it's right there. And as soon as I saw, some of my favorite artists sort of like started tracing their work, and then you just see like these overlapping shapes, like, so imagine like to paint you a picture in your brain, basically. But imagine like a hand reaching out towards you, and it's not like straight like into your vision. It's like like 35 degrees to your left, You can see the whole arm basically, but the hand is like closest to your vision, and then you have like the underarm, the elbow, like the bicep part, and then the shoulder. Like you can see how what's closest to your vision, to your eye.
Foreshortening.
Yeah, foreshortening. It's like the shapes are overlapping a lot, and that creates, like the depth. And just like I didn't understand that somehow, because I was going about it in like a stupid way, because I never bothered to do that. Like break it down, see how people solved it. For me, I just knew that what was like close to your eye was the biggest part. Yeah. But I didn't really think about overlapping shapes,
No, you would do like a normal body up until that hand.
Or I would just draw it in one line without thinking like these lines need to go a certain direction to say that
there is a perspective that
there is
comes
and
into
a hierarchy.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's behind like the hand can't, like the line of the hand needs to cover the part of the underarm or whatever. What the fuck are these called? Not
underarms. Forearms.
Forearms, thank you. The forearm and underarms. Jesus Christ. Yeah. But you just like need to understand that. And by tracing some of your like simplified artists that you like, and I've always mentioned like Sean Galloway is a perfect one. Corey Loftus that draws like Zootropolis and other cool shit. He's also like a great person to like figure out. And I think like any big name artist out there that understands and uses shape language like that, they're awesome to trace. And just like do it. Like you don't always have to create art that you can post online, This stuff will get you so much further, and you'll like learn stuff that you can utilize immediately rather than doing 10,000 drawings for 10,000 hours and basically not even grasp that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So really invest some time
understanding
it.
Break it down. Again, like build it up in the way that you like it is your drawing.
Yeah.
But you just have this visual aid guiding you doing it. I think it's super important, and it gets way too much shit. Like,
oh yeah, dude, yeah.
Tracing is such a bad word in the industry, you know, and it's just because people use it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
So again, like the weakest link or the baddest apple just ruins it for the rest of us.
Of course, and I think
that's how it is.
I think there's like on the iPad, I don't remember what it's called. There's like this 3D app that you can use to like pose like mannequins.
Yeah, I don't know which one you mean, and
but
I don't remember which one
you can like change the body type and stuff, and
I have one of those, but it was for my phone. But I'm sure it's for the pad as well. Fuck, what is it called? 3D person or something?
I don't know. Like, I really don't remember. I don't even know if they're still available.
No, but it was pretty cool. You could like buy extra packs and stuff. So you had like a posable skeleton, and you could remove every piece of the skeleton and stuff. Like it was a really cool app.
I just had the guy, and you could make him like a bit chubbier or like super lean and super bulky. And then there was a female equivalent of that. Yeah. And those are the ones that I used. But you could basically just pose the character. Like you could rotate the shoulders, inwards, outwards, the wrist, like every joint was movable. And just taking that stuff, for example, like setting it up in angles that you need, and then, tracing the composition out of that, that's fine. Like
That's what it's made for.
exactly.
So-
And you don't have to just like with your eye. Like that's good if you want to practice a bit and just to like get down, like the perspective without tracing or anything, that's
Yeah.
fine. But if you want to work smart and just understand sometimes, like a specific pose or like how would that look really? Because if you don't have a frame of reference, there's and especially if you're a beginner, like where the fuck, like you're not trying to be original here. You're just trying to learn shit.
Yeah.
So tracing is the better way. Because I remember I was trying to draw foreshortening without reference as a kid. What? Like, I didn't know. I didn't even look myself in the mirror doing it.
No.
So I was just going to magically make it happen. It's like learning another language without any fucking tutoring
Or even hearing,
the language. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
not going to happen. So don't worry about tracing. This is not just stuff that you're going to post on Instagram unless you have like a paper like, I did these studies, I've traced some artworks
Yeah.
for this. That's fine. But just be clear and be smart about the way that you approach art. Because there's nothing more frustrating than drawing the same pose and it sucks. And then as soon as you try to draw it from imagination as well, it sucks even more. That's terrible because you don't understand.
Yeah. No, but seriously, everybody's been tracing forever.
Yeah.
Even like when you go back to like the old Renaissance paintings, they sort of invented the camera to be able to make their paintings perfect. So what they did was they built a big dark box in the middle of the room, and they have a little tiny hole in the wall. That hole is going to reflect the light
I'm
coming
just like
from
glory hole, sorry. It's just like my brain just
exactly. Yes.
go
yes.
the wrong way, Elias.
Yes, a really teeny tiny glory hole, and it projects
They were white
the image in front of the box onto the canvas that you
Yeah.
have inside the box, and they just lightly traced
Yeah.
the image, and that
Yeah.
way they have everything there, and then they can start painting it.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away any of the skill involved in like creating these
Yeah.
masterpieces, but that's like how far back this shit goes.
Yeah.
Even the mannequins that you can
Yeah,
buy
yeah.
in every art store.
I've been
that's
around for a while. Yeah.
like it's not tracing.
No, but it's an
it-
aid. It's
exactly.
an aid to help
and
you
in
understand.
that exact same way, everybody listening now, you already know that tracing is good and tracing is bad. Ta-da. But
No, but I
just
think
to
it's-
really emphasize that it's been going on forever. So if you are one of those people that are like, no, I'm a purist, I do everything from my head.
Then
well,
see you in 10,000 years where
exactly.
you still suck.
Yeah. We'll be having all of the followers on DeviantArt, and
Yeah.
you won't. Yes.
All the followers. Always draw for followers. But there are such great ways to utilize tracing, just to boost. Because I wish I had done it earlier, man. Because there's so many things that I could have just traced. Like, I remember tracing back when I was a kid. I was tracing, like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, same.
And then eventually I
Donald
was
Duck,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, it's just doing this and this and this. And you have like Mickey. And I could draw Mickey. And then I started drawing like my own version of Mickey that had nothing to do with Mickey Mouse, like
Exactly.
except the basic fundamentals. And they still sucked because I was like 6.
Yeah.
But they were like, I had an understanding of how to build up, the character. And that was just because I traced it so many times that I started understanding the shortcuts or, like the genius of the design. And you won't do that if it's a complex thing as well. Like if you love, artists that are super good, like trying to understand Kim Young-gi that sees everything, he has both the, like he's drawn. Dude, Asperger's, he has that.
Yes.
But he just he has this visual reference that you're not seeing, you're not privy to it. He has a fucking perspective guide in his head, I guess, because everything in the image follows that.
I'm sure he has this magical lens, like this futuristic eye that just projects
But I
this
think-
invisible perspective grid
he
and
sees,
everything.
yeah. Because
It's
so
insane.
just go over his work as well. Just
Definitely.
draw put it in perspective. Like try to find where the perspective goes. Just pull down the opacity again. Just do the same thing and try to put it in perspective. See if it's a 1, 2, 3 point perspective, and just draw out the lines and try to find sort of where it's at. You'll find it, like
Guaranteed.
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And if you want it, like easy places to spot it is where the body goes a bit more squarish, I say, like temples. You know, where the sort of like the cranial bone goes sort of like
just sort of along your eyebrow line, and then up.
That's because the temple really is one of those places where your skeleton has like it's two different planes. It's like your face, and then there's the side planes. As soon as you start figuring this shit out, and you draw like lines around it to sort of like get the square to sort of appear, you'll start like, oh shit, oh it's in this perspective, and then you can sort of add the rest of the body and figure out where the things are going.
Yeah,
and if you do that, things become so much simpler. And just understanding how something is built will make it easier for you to build it. Sure, you'll still have to practice and all that stuff, but just understanding it rather than just drawing what you see.
Yeah, drawing blindly almost.
And because there are so many people that are like, I can only draw from reference. It's because you don't understand what you're doing. You're just drawing, the stuff.
Yeah, you're photocopying.
Yeah, basically, exactly what you're doing without thinking about what you're doing.
Yeah. And that's why I do my portraits fast, I think, because for me it is drawing a face like I would draw any cartoonish or comic book face. I build it up in the exact same way. And I think that's why it's faster, because it becomes my interpretation of this face rather than the perfect copy of the... And then, of course, I get really frustrated when it doesn't look the same, and, it happens every time I do this.
That's why I use, like, several photos, because I never draw it in the exact same angle that I'm seeing it either.
That's the thing with me, because because I want that exact image, because that's what's in my head when I build up the poster and so on. So I try to find images that match the image that I have already built in my head or a thumbnail. Yeah. And when I find that image, I'm like, yes, perfect. And then that's, like I said, it's still going to become something different because I draw it from scratch anyways. But that's just the process of me. If I did more of a commission style type job, I would do the exact same thing Elias did, with multiple images, trying to get the head in all different angles and stuff, so I know what it looks like, and again understand the shape and structure of this person that I'm drawing. But I don't get those anymore, so I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. And I also wanted to say, like, other like benefits of tracing. Like, let's say you're doing like work for a client, and you have 3 days. You like, and you're drawing. Let's say you're drawing something you don't know how to draw. Like, oh yeah, I want this. We need this car, and then we need your character sitting on the hood of the car. Blah blah blah.
And the car is on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, and we want it sort of like from a low perspective, so that you can see the sneakers and the wheel and the blah blah blah. You're basically fucked, okay? Because you've never drawn a car, and when you do, they look like...
I was just going to say,
and it looks like... It doesn't even look like something Donald Duck could drive,
Yeah.
And if you just fucking trace the car, just get in the basic line work of whatever the fuck a car... Like, I don't know, any of the parts on a car. Like, there's, like...
Wheels,
exactly.
And
then the hood. Yeah, exactly. But it's basically that. Like, the trunk, because I have a car. That's like the dumb shit.
This is a door.
But even that, you just tell me to draw my car. I'm like, oh, I look at my car every day. I have no idea what I'm doing. That's where the tracing comes in. If you start tracing cars for a while, you're going to start understanding, oh, this is the same thing as on this car, but it looks a little like this.
Yeah.
So do the same there. Like, trace that car, and then when it comes to the creative expression, once you've got the drawing or the sketch down, like the design, when you start painting it, like with what you've learned, because you know how to paint things. You like, I'm assuming that you're not an entire like a beginner here. This is a bit more advanced. Like, you know how to paint. You understand shape and sort of how reflective surfaces are and stuff. Then the painting is not a problem. Like, you'll know when it's wrong. So you use a couple of other different references, for the car, just to get, your own thing to it. But basically, no one will ever see what car you traced, like what photo you traced. There's a million of those, And that's not wrong. That is not wrong. That is a perfect way to save time, get an awesome design that doesn't look shit to your client, because the client doesn't care that you traced it. It looks exactly like your other shit that they wanted. That's why they contacted you to get it. So you fucking traced a car to the level where you could go in and make it your own without it sucking or taking you another week to make because you don't understand cars at all.
Exactly.
So I think that is one of the best ways to utilize tracing as well. Like, oh shit, okay, they want this thing or like this specific person. If you're not used to drawing likeness, trace it.
Yeah.
Like for that job, if you need to.
Drew Struzan did it.
Fucking
there you go. Like,
I think he's
enough said.
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot of sort of like people realized like he was tracing the sketch onto his canvases, and people went bananas like in the comments like, oh, I'm so disappointed I didn't know you traced, bro. You're idiots.
Yeah.
Like he's doing live gigs. He's trying to save time.
Yeah.
Like imagine like drawing like super detailed Indiana Jones that he did the poster for, and then he fucking like places in like Harrison Ford like a little to the left, and that ruins the whole composition. No, he just fucking traces the whole thing on top of the board, and he can like easily change the designs and move them around with tracing paper.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he do that? That
Analog Photoshop.
Basically, yeah.
He was using Photoshop before Photoshop was a thing.
Dude, yes. Yeah. That is fucking a perfect example, because no one complains if someone like, oh, I drew the character too much on the left. I'll just take the whole thing, lasso tool, move to the right. No one would complain. But if you do it tracing, like with that type of like, oh, that's
he's a tracer, cheating, kill him, burn him.
Because I could tell you this, Drew Struzan paints or like draws the lines, and then he hands you the painting. When you're done, it's gonna suck unless you are as good as Drew Struzan.
Exactly.
That's the thing. He still knew how to paint, but to save time, he made the decision that I can't do this unless I trace it.
Exactly.
To get the composition right, like immediately, and get the likeness and everything down.
Yeah.
Because I don't have time to waste.
No.
The poster needs to be done.
It's business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he does his own shit on the side.
Yeah.
Which is equally awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not traced.
No. Exactly. It's just about meeting a demand and doing it.
Solving a task.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you do work, like for a client, let's say you're a freelancer and you have all these gigs. So now you have to spend a month. So you're going to start missing gigs because you're preoccupied being too proud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could work for Marvel, I could work for Disney, and I could work for blah, blah, blah. But I decide not to trace because I'm a proud motherfucker. So now I don't get to work with Disney. I don't get, like, you lose work because you're slow.
Exactly.
Because you think there's like, you're not supposed to like trace the whole thing or like photocopy it onto your image.
No.
You take the basic structure that you need, discard the rest, add, like reference and tracing. There's nothing wrong with that.
You're working smart.
You're just working smart. Exactly. It'd be worse if you just like, oh, we need this, and you just trace that photo and exactly like it is, and then you took another photo and added that exactly without changing it.
Yeah, no.
Then you're just, exactly. That's wrong. But just taking underlying structure or, like the likeness of someone, and then you're painting it, giving it your touch or, like whatever the fuck that is how you should be doing it.
Yeah.
Because imagine that, oh, now I don't have to work freelance, like 57,000 hours a week to make meets end, like just to like make
ends meet. Yeah.
Ends meet. Thank you. Fuck.
Meets
end. Gotta have the meat, bros. No, it's protein. It's all about protein.
Yeah, bro.
No, but just like imagine that you could have a, like a normal work week as a freelancer, rather than having to work like double that, and
which you still do.
Which you still do. Exactly. That's what I mean. That's why, like, if you can cut that production time down, the client won't care. Like, they won't be proud of you because you figured out how the knee foreshortens, on that superhero pose.
Exactly.
Like if you traced it instead, they won't care.
They just want the image, the
They just-
finished image.
exactly.
They don't look in your garbage to see all the shit that you've discarded throughout this whole process.
Exactly. Or like that you spent a week like learning anatomy
Yeah.
to do this. They don't care.
No.
They just
But they're
want
not going to pay you extra for learning anatomy. That wasn't a part of the brief.
No.
They
just-
wanted this image.
Yeah, so get it done. Trace it if you have to for this time. Maybe you'll learn something, and then you move on.
Yeah.
So there are tons of things that I don't know how to draw.
But don't you fucking trace those things,
No,
man.
I don't trace
Don't
them.
you
I
goddamn
just
trace
look
those things.
and then complicate things.
I will
and then-
fucking come to your house and murder
Don't come in my
your
house.
Goddamn.
Don't come in my house. It is inappropriate. I have children there.
Yes. I will not murder any of them, but maybe cut off your hand. That's what I would
Cool.
do if you fucking trace.
But I have this fabulous nail
yes,
polish.
yes,
on
he
now,
does
so-
actually. It's
do-
very
I do-
distracting.
It's super. And it has my daughter even added glitter to them, so
So he's got painted fingernails.
it's
so
so
everybody
distracting. Like when I
knows.
see my own nails, I'm like, whose hands are these? Fabulous hands.
Yeah. And the fun thing is that he can't remove them because then his daughter would be sad.
Yeah, so I
So
just have to
he's-
suffer through it. At
Yeah.
work today, they were like, "Oh, nice nails." I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
this thing." Someone was looking at me on the train today. I'm like, "I'm an awesome artist."
Like, yeah.
And then like, "Oh no, they're looking at my nail polish."
So Ilias is emo today.
You
Fuck
know it.
yes.
It's awesome.
Fabulous.
Fabulous. That's what I wrote. Like fabulous workout. Hashtag.
Nice.
Yeah, and trace,
Trace.
trace, motherfuckers, trace.
Go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, have fun with it. Trace cool shit. Like go out there and take whatever the fuck you love and trace the fuck out of it. Break it down though. Don't just draw the thing.
No.
I mean, like, if there's a torso, a character, a toaster, whatever it is, break it down into perspective. Draw the
stuff
lines,
you
all
know.
the lines. Yeah,
Everything
exactly.
You sketch first, right? This is the sketchbook heroes, not the draw book heroes.
Exactly. So,
No, loose sketch and then tidy it up, and then all of a sudden, ta-da! You know how to draw this fucking thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it if you want.
yeah, no, you have to
Yeah.
do it this
Yeah.
way.
Now you-
or I
now you
will-
have to.
I will find you.
Yes,
Have a certain.
I will find you and I will block you on Instagram.
Exactly.
I don't know. What's a bad thing to do today? Like, it doesn't feel like anything is really bad anymore.
I'll disagree with you online. No, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
I have no idea. What the fuck. No, but seriously,
Yeah.
just take tracing to heart. Like, understand what bad tracing is, understand what effective tracing is as a learning tool, and utilize it as much as you can, because it's one of those things that you don't have to pay for. It's not an
Exactly.
expensive education.
No.
It doesn't take any special hardware. Use whatever you have. If it's pen and paper,
And that's also fun, actually. Just speaking of hardware, but like building your own sort of light box.
That is actually a do-it-yourself thing.
It's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
Like, it just requires a piece of glass. You could take it from like anything. I think when I was a kid, I went, like outside the garbage place, and someone had thrown like one of these like glass. I think it was like for a fridge, one of those like mid.
Oh, just one of those trays, sort of?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Like a shelf.
Yeah, exactly
thing?
that. And you just removed the edges,
plastic
the
thing?
plastic, and then you built like a wooden frame at the thing at school,
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just added
Wood
the
shop.
glass, and yeah, exactly. And you just like added a little lamp, but we didn't have LEDs back then, so the lamps got really hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, it was like a super simple thing.
Made
to
you draw
build.
faster.
Exactly. And now with today's technology, there's so many options there with lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
That doesn't like heat up like that. Did.
I went to Clas Ohlson, which is like, your normal cheap material type of store, bought one of those plastic boxes, containers, and bought one of those LEDs that you can you remove a sticker thing on the back of it and you can place it anywhere you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I just had that, not remove the stickery thing, but just place that in the box because
Yeah.
it's already translucent. Put the light on, and there you go. That's a light box.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And whenever I'm not using it, I'm storing stuff in it because it's a storage unit.
You can also
It's
use
amazing.
your iPad for the same reason, like on the same thing. Like you could have the image on the iPad that you want to trace. You put a paper on top of it. You're done. Just
be careful because some people trace a lot harder than you normally draw, and you could fuck up your iPad because that's something that I have seen firsthand.
I haven't seen
and
that.
It's terrified me.
Don't do that.
Be smart about it. But yeah, it's like I don't think I can't really repeat any more of the stuff that we already
I have nothing else. Like I think we've said everything with little repetition. I think like we've repeated stuff, of course, but I think we're not going to try to recap because that always ends up with us saying the same thing for another 40 minutes,
which we do.
I
think we're doing that now.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Oh yeah, by the way, you can use your window as well. Yeah, makeshift.
That's actually how I did it as a kid.
That's how I did it too.
I always like put it agaast the window.
It's perfect.
And then just started. But that was like for straight tracing.
Copy.
Copy. I want you to actually learn.
You get really tired, or I'm not used to drawing in that way.
Yeah, neither am I.
So we did this in uni in Australia as well because we had to trace stuff that we were going to do ink tests.
And this is why you dropped out, right? Because of the tracing.
Yeah. It was too tough. Too tough, man. Yeah.
Tough tracing.
Yeah, it was the only... I actually got my paper.
What?
Yeah, speaking of the school. I seriously... Because I dropped out of the last course that I had because I didn't have enough time to actually invest in it because I got too much tattoo work. Yes, of course. No, I wanted to make money finally when I could make money. Yeah. So I was like, fuck it. I'll just, not do these last two things, whatever. But because I didn't do that, I was 100% sure I wasn't going to get the degree or whatever it is. I didn't go into this expecting anything anyways. Yeah. But lo and behold, just like maybe a month ago or something.
What?
Got it in the mail, yeah. And I got like top grades in pretty much all my classes. Yeah. It blew my mind. I was like, fuck, I didn't do anything like, over the top. People who know who I am and what I do, seriously, I never do extra credit for anything. I just did like bare minimum.
Yep, same.
But still, almost top grades in every fucking course except the one that I didn't finish. So, but still got a degree. Yeah. So that was great. Awesome. So I actually have a piece of paper from a university now. Whoop, whoop.
I don't have that, so.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. So
now you can say that you've gone to art school again.
Again. Yeah.
Again.
But this time with like product design and shit like that too. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter. I'm still just going to hurt people all day. That's what I do.
And that's it about the thing.
Yeah, let's do like a little mid-jingle thing and move on. Yes! Did we do the thing?
Yes, we're back.
Okay, we're back.
We're back. Yay! And today on Tools, we're going to be...
touching ourselves.
Yeah, touching ourselves with a different subject. No. But there are different types of tools, and the one that I want to talk about today is...
a hammer.
Exactly.
Sorry.
It's for nails. No. I just had nothing. I was just like, I'm going to go stupid.
For some reason, I'm like a little bit more hyped today. Like... I don't know.
You're not
why.
even drinking caffeine. You're drinking that.
I'm drinking water. I've had
Zlatan water that we used to drink back at the King office.
No, this is the same.
This is the same without the Zlatan autograph on it.
I keep this bottle.
Oh,
and it's just water.
Of course.
But I've had it forever, and it's disgusting. Really.
Yeah, I can see that it's like not even.
It's
the
falling
right
apart.
Type of blue.
Yeah, I've even started drawing on it and shit.
But on that subject of your water.
Yes.
Before we get too distracted. The tool that I want to sort of talk about today is the tool of not knowing what to draw. So when you don't know what to draw, you can use the challenges online. So social media.
What?
Yeah.
We're going to talk social media?
Yes.
No way.
But not for about followers or that shit.
We are.
Basically a crutch for when you don't know what to draw.
Like it's funny because I see your phone in your crotch.
In my crotch, right? Yeah, social media crotch.
So I'm just waiting for somebody to like write him a message or call. You dirty fuck. Yes.
Shove it in there. No, but
social media tools.
Yeah, what the fuck, Robert? Yeah, today on Twitter, where I'm super famous. People, no, I'm just kidding. I just saw a post about, and it was hashtagged Sailor Moon redraw, and it's another challenge that people are jumping on, and everyone's drawing the same Sailor Moon sort of like image that has been posted. So you post the original image and then your version of it. And some people have taken Sailor Moon, made her into a dude, but keeping the same composition, whatever's in the image. It is that same. It's the exact you notice exactly what image they've drawn. And then I've just seen like people doing it with spaghetti, people doing a robot version of her, and it's just a blast to look through these, especially on Twitter for me. Like I've seen the best ones there, but we checked Instagram as well, and it seems to be a thing growing there as well.
Yeah, almost 13,000 posts.
Exactly.
I think,
and
with the hashtag.
We have no idea who started this, but it seems like a super fun, thing to do.
In case of emergency.
In case of emergency, yeah. If you don't know what to draw, there's an image out there of Sailor Moon. Most of us in our age at least saw it when they were kids, and we recommend it.
Yes.
Because it seems like a fun thing. Also, it's a great strategy if you do want to use social media as one of your platforms, then Twitter or Instagram for the hashtag Sailor Moon redraw.
Or if you're just fucking bored and want to look at fun images.
Yeah,
seriously.
Exactly.
There were a lot of really fun ones. But like Ilya said, I think at this stage it's probably hotter on Twitter. So
yeah, maybe
if you are a Twitter user, then probably check that out first.
But it also might be worth, because it seems to be an active hashtag.
Yeah.
And active hashtags is one of the best ways to organically grow your accounts. So check those out and try to join as many of these without stressing yourself out.
And by the time you're listening to this, it's already been out for more than a week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So draw fast, motherfuckers. No, but I probably shouted this out on our account as well. So I'll do that today.
Yeah. Cool.
Which is a week ago for you guys.
Yeah. So you will have heard of this.
Yeah.
Nice.
But also, while we're on the subject of popular and active hashtags, if you don't want to do that, like you want to post something, but you're out of ideas and you don't want to draw, then the Art versus the Artist is back on.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. I don't know how long these, like, it feels like you said, like it was just a day ago or a month ago or something. But it's one where you post yourself in the middle and then you post all your artwork in little squares around yourself. Where I took a picture of me drinking coffee and, I just photoshopped myself, a bit out of the frame that I'm in.
I like that.
And that image took off, and now my Instagram is famous again.
Yeah.
For a little while. And it's just like, it's a fun thing to do just to keep active when you don't have anything. So I think those are worth revisiting unless that was what you did just now,
Yeah.
But every now and then it's fun to see the people behind the artwork.
Yeah.
I actually like it when people mix it up, but I know that people don't always appreciate when I post, my face.
Yeah, but
they're like,
it's because you're always posting that scrunched up angry face.
That's my face.
Why don't you ever post like, oh, this is me sort of smiling and laughing.
I don't have those images. I don't have those
You're always
images.
like,
yeah, but that's like the image that if I have to take it, just fake laughing doesn't work.
what? It's easy.
No, it
Yeah,
isn't.
it is.
No, I can't do it. Like, I went
I'm
on
doing it right now.
I went to an audition where I was supposed to smile, and I felt my face muscles just like.
But
Like,
it's
I
only
can't,
for the
like-
image, so
No,
you can
I
be
can't.
angry just until you push the button, then just
I
go
can't
like,
do it.
yeah.
I can't do that.
No.
Like you do it perfectly. I'm super impressed.
I've
I just
trained-
just like I couldn't do it. Like I don't have that. Like it doesn't come naturally. Like
I'm just fucking with you too. You know that.
no,
too,
I do
but
get
yeah.
it. But I am still impressed that you can do it because I can't do it. Like I've tried laughing, and the only time it looks good is when I don't know I'm doing it.
It's really awkward though, because sometimes derailing a bit. But speaking of
but
that,
let's talk about selfies.
yes, selfies, because that was a
Abdul.
it was a big thing in Australia.
To take selfies?
The clients wanted to have a selfie with me, like group photo, or like we did the tattoo, and then right before they left, they always wanted to have a picture with me. So it sort of became a thing, and sometimes it takes a long time to take one of those pictures. And I am doing the fake smiley thing because I'm tired. I've been sitting there for like 8 hours and just working on this person, really trying to get them to leave because I just want to go home. Yeah. No, you have to pretend to be super happy to take this photo when you're sweaty and stinky and just look like shit.
And you
So
have
I'm
people
standing
hugging
there.
you for a photo.
Yeah,
You're like, fuck.
exactly. But, you know, like compared to Comic-Con when we were super famous, we still had masks on.
Yeah.
So we could
You
just
didn't have
like
to smile. Yeah. Some photos I
sleeping,
was
you
like,
know?
yeah. That was perfect.
But
though.
yeah, you're just standing there sometimes for like 2 straight minutes, like
yeah.
yeah,
You're starting to feel your
like,
face, you know, like
this is not
like,
natural
yeah.
anymore. Like I'm hurting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Natural was like 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's happening.
But I think from that little period of me doing that, perfected the fake smile. So
Cool.
thank you, Australia, for making me even more fake. It's amazing.
It's like, what?
Another tool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So fake your
Fake your face.
face your face, face your face, face your face.
Fix your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fix your face. And you listening, fake your face.
Fake your face.
And
I have one more.
do the
So another live hashtag. That's
6 fan
on-
arts.
6 fan arts.
6 fan arts challenge.
6
yes.
fan arts. Yeah, I didn't do that one.
Me talkie.
Yeah. So talk about it.
I'm still in the midst of it. The last episode we talked about it, I had just finished the Mulder and Scully one, and I'm still there.
It's smoldering.
It's still smoldering. Yeah. No, it definitely is not. I thought I had decided on which characters I wanted to do, the last 2 characters, but when I sat down to actually start the second last one, I just felt like, no, I don't want to draw this character. Like, I'd been thinking about it for too long that it sort of became boring. So now I am scrapping the last 2 that I had planned, and I'm going to go back and look at all the suggestions that I got and do what I did with the earlier ones, which was, I feel like drawing this person now, and do that. But during this time, well, first I had the little vacation thing, so I didn't draw anything for a week. And then I'm starting to feel a little bit stressed out with the poster that I'm working on. So now I actually try to force myself to focus more on that. Because I did sort of a compromise when I came back home. I did Charles Manson sort of goofy caricature-ish portrait just for me. Like, I just wanted to draw
I
something.
really liked that one. And
Thank
it
you.
was eerily, it really
Dude.
looked like my brother. Yeah, fuck. If
When
you
I
just like
found-
cover the hair,
Yeah, man.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
freaked me out.
Yeah, fuck, that was
It
scary.
really freaked me out because that was the last time I saw him on the train. Like, he was, you know, we're laughing and talking a lot, and he always does that funny face. Like, he does that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the face.
Dude, it was exactly
Charles
that
Manson.
face. Yeah. Explains a lot of fucking things.
Yes. Yeah, it really does. But
yeah.
that really, it fucked up my brain a bit. I was
Yeah,
like,
that
because,
was super scary because I thought that basically what I saw, and then you were like, every time I see that, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm way ahead of that comment. Like, whatever you wrote, I
Yeah.
just saw it before. As soon
which
as I
is the-
started reading it,
yeah.
I was like, oh my god, yes, I see it. Like, and then like, oh yes.
Yeah.
Once
But because I saw that, when I found that image, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I have to fucking draw this. I have to draw this one. So, yeah, that's what I did.
if you had just gone with a shaved head, perfect.
Yeah.
Fuck, yeah, that was scary.
But yeah, so that was the compromise. I did that just for me with no pressure or anything. Just had fun with it. But it ended up not being fun because I was done with it halfway in and like everything. And so now I'm like, okay, nothing for me now until I've finished pretty much the whole poster now. So that's going to be the full focus.
Okay, cool. But I think it's nice as well because what the in-between drawing does is that it gives you time away from the drawing.
Exactly.
That is focused on something else. Because if you just take breaks and then go back to it, you haven't really taken a break, for me at least. Like,
No.
because you do something for a while and then you go back and you get like this new perspective where you've let it go
exactly.
entirely.
Exactly.
So I think that Charlene Manson. Oh my God.
That's his name now.
Yeah, Charlene Manson. But it's just a better way, I think, of distancing yourself from the work.
Yeah. But the good thing about that was that I drew that in the exact same way that I am drawing the poster.
Yeah.
So it still sort of helped me keep the process going. And
Yeah,
so
you're not getting out of it. Yeah,
Exactly.
So you have to start
it's
over.
just something
sort of.
different,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. But again, it's like that one was on an A3, so it was still a big face.
Oh,
but
shit, it's that big.
But it's still nothing compared to the poster. So drawing that was like, oh, it's so fast. It only took like 5 hours to draw this.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh man, I'm getting destroyed by this poster.
No, but it looks really fucking good for us to get to see a bit of it.
Oh,
it's amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, at this stage, you've said that so many times now. I just feel like I'm kind of forcing people to say it because I'm like,
No, but it isn't. It's just that it's that big as well because you post it, and you just like, no, I don't want that. Like, I would never want to draw that big.
Yeah, but it is. I'm gonna cherish this when I'm finished with it for sure.
Yeah.
But at this stage, I'm like, I'm so over it. I just fucking hate it.
But I'm a bit jealous that you get to do that, like draw something that big. But then again, I think about it. I was like, don't want to do it. It's basically the YouTube phenomena thing where you're like, oh, I want to be able to throw cards like that. And then like you want to spend your days doing that. Like,
no.
I just want the finished skill.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh man, I wish
brag.
that was the case.
Yeah.
I actually have a second one of those canvases that I'm working on just for myself.
Yeah.
Which I will never use. The thought was good.
Yeah.
Yes, I like the
But
idea
I think
of having
finding ways to speed up some of the, like the tedious
Yeah.
parts, and I guess that comes with, doing it.
But it's really, I love having a bigger project to work on like this as well.
Yeah.
What I would love to do one of these for myself, just for myself. And see how long that would take compared to this, which is for this event and becoming this thing, which is, the added pressure. Like, will it be easier or harder to complete it with or without that pressure? I'm 100% sure I need that pressure to make it, or to finish it. If I didn't have that, I would probably not even fucking look at it. I would just hide it.
You would have quit easy, or like taking a shortcut where you just splatter some color on it and then just like, oh, fine.
It's like, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
I probably feel the same way, that I would have rushed it in a different kind of way than what you're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because now it's really taking your time, and like, I want to make sure that, because it is going to be for sale, I want to make sure that I actually get something from this.
$50 million. Bro.
Yeah.
$50 million.
At least. Yeah. Or pounds, because
Pounds,
it's
it's even better.
Britain. Yeah.
Britons.
Breton. But
So it's the bread you get with like the hard bread, right? Like the croutons. Britons. I don't know.
every once in a while, we get reminded that Ilias is a dad.
Never mind. Keep walking.
Oh my
So
God.
6 fan arts.
Yeah, 6
That's
fan
the one.
arts.
And
So
also,
what I wanted to say about 6
shit.
fan arts was that it's actually really fun. Like, it is something that I hope and wish everybody that has the time does or tries to do, because it really, like, I'm not reinventing these characters. I'm just drawing them the way I want, and most of the time with reference, because that's how I do stuff.
So trace, no.
Yes. But for anybody that like has their own style and does things their own way, this is so much fun. Just going into that hashtag and looking at everybody doing like all of this awesome artwork that's coming out of this little one shitty fucking hashtag that even has like Comic Sans as a font thing. Like, it's so ridiculous. And I love it so much. Like,
no, it is super fun. Like, I love how even when people are drawing the same thing, or I would advise you to not take, like the normal things that everyone's doing, Just take, like the off characters that you resonate with rather than doing, another Batman, or I would probably choose Batman, but some other character that I see, like recurring.
Yeah.
Like try to do something else. Because I think you've chosen characters that, like the girl from that movie that we couldn't.
Yeah. Still.
Whatever the movie, we Googled it last time.
Yeah,
or
and
the
I
time before that.
Fuck, I forgot it.
Yeah, but like she's not a super clear one.
No.
But it's still so good. It's one of the best ones you've done.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I loved it.
And I think you should do that, and then have people like make it interesting, like it doesn't have to be instantly recognizable. Like as long as you have a couple that are the I think the ones, like for me, that one is one of the, like, it's so fun to look at just with the expression, the craziness and everything. And then I was like, oh, well, where the fuck is that from though? Like I don't recognize it. And then you start looking into it.
Yeah, and that's what I hope, at least, like, because I remember loving that movie when I was a kid.
Dude, same.
Or a teenager. So it was a nice, like, to get that as one of the requests.
Did you have to look it up when you got the request, right?
I was like, fuck, that sounds familiar, but I'm like, no, I have no idea who this is. So I looked up each and every one that I didn't know, obviously, because just want to know.
Yeah.
And as soon as I found her, I was like, yes, like 100%. Yeah, I need to do her. That sounds so wrong. I need to draw a fan art piece
of her.
For her. Yes. But yeah, so I think that's the only thing I can say about that is do it.
And if you want some extra attention on your artwork, always hashtag Sketchbook Heroes so we can see it.
Sure.
Use our hashtag. We have, I don't know how many posts, like 1,000 something on
Maybe
ours?
3,000 now?
I don't know. Who cares? Yeah. But use the hashtag. We do check it. And also I follow the hashtag.
Yeah.
So you could also follow the hashtag, but so it pops up in my feed. So use it.
Use it.
Hashtag Sketchbook Heroes.
Yes.
Yeah, and with that said, let's bada bing, bada boom, bada boom.
Yep. We did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we're back.
Okay. And back again.
Back again.
With the retro. Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So welcome back to the retro.
So welcome. Yeah. Hello. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hola.
Okay. So hi, Thomas and Robin. Let's do this.
Are you guys ready?
Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Actually, you should like start messaging us now so we can talk about stuff.
I think Tiffany might listen too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't believe
and
it.
also
Mimosa.
Not Mimosa. That's not her name. It's like my. God damn it! I don't remember. Like I said mimosa on the on the live stream
because you're a
and
fucking
she
alcoholic.
Was like, yeah, but it's my moa.
Mimoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
So mimoa, but we can't say that because that makes no sense to anyone else but Swedes.
There you go.
Mimoa. Yeah, it just sounds like that candy. Mwam. Yeah. Mwam. I think it's like mawam. So it's like MAOAM. Mawam. So there's two. Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? You guys don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
Nobody knows anything anymore.
But yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Time for retro, and we have nothing specific in mind.
No,
we're just gonna recommend shit,
spitball out anything.
So I'm gonna start with What We Do in the Shadows,
Really?
season 3.
Nice. I haven't
also
seen.
watched the first one,
and definitely watched the movie.
Yeah,
yes,
a shit that I haven't seen.
It's really,
but
really
it's
good.
basically from the trailer that I've watched. It feels like the same vibe. So. And
that's what I've heard from
Taika
everybody.
Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Taika, yeah, I'm mixed up. The
Titanic Matwaki Taki.
And I said my titty, so
yeah, there you go.
Waititi, I don't know.
It's not our fault that he has a really weird name that nobody can
that we
remember or
be
pronounce.
bothered to learn. Yeah.
Yes, Taika.
It's Taika.
And is it? I always say Waititi, but it might be Waikiki.
No,
and
it isn't.
I'm always confused here. So
no.
For anybody listening there, don't message us because
About it.
we've already looked it up a billion times now. So
Fuck it.
there you go.
But it's basically like, if I just talk you through the plot,
Mhm.
it's about a group of vampires living in a house in Staten Island, New York. And they're idiots, all of them. They're sort of like, I don't know, they haven't really adapted to modern life, but they're not really...
Not
like that.
adapted. Yeah,
No, yeah, exactly. It's just that they're just... Oh,
they're
man,
stuck
it's-
in time,
They're
pretty much,
stuck
right?
somewhere in between, yeah.
Mm.
So, for example... no, I don't want to give you any examples. You just watch the show. It's just so dumb, but it has this great vibe to it. And it has a lot of little references and stuff and like winks to, vampire like lore and movies and, stuff that... And, oh man, there are so many little things that you just like, you need to watch it.
And it's also, if you're a fan of Flight of the Conchords, these are the brains behind this as well. So it's Taika and the Flight of the Conchord guys that I don't know the names of also, of course. And I think the movie is set in New Zealand, where they're from.
Yeah, and you can hear it in their accents as well.
Yeah,
Like that.
they've got that silly, like, and there's something about the New Zealand sort of humor.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, it's so funny. It's if you've
But
seen
it's
Thor
different, though.
Ragnarok,
Yeah.
Korg, the stone dude. That's Taika Waititi again, and that's the same type of humor, like very sort of almost stupid, but not really stupid. Like it's so hard to describe the humor, but it's a very unique type of humor. So I know that I'm gonna love the show. Waititi! Yes!
Okay, so Taika Waititi.
Yes, there you go. The titty.
Titty. So titties was right.
Yes. Now we will always remember the boobies.
Yes.
Taika Wabubi.
Just like ruined it again. But he's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
And we're just making silly.
Yes. All right. So anything more about the show other than it's awesome and
I
we
don't
should
want to
watch
give
it?
anything away because... But it's just like, no, just watch it. Trust me. It's just so good.
All right. Yeah, I need to watch it. And is both seasons on Netflix? Or
I think season 2 is ongoing because there were only 6 episodes that I
Okay,
binged yesterday. So I'm just guessing that like once a week or something.
But
I couldn't find any information.
But you still have the first season there.
yeah, the
like,
first one is
and-
there complete,
and
and
the
then
second is
6
ongoing.
episodes on the
Okay.
second one.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's HBO for us at least. I don't know where you guys get.
Okay,
to watch.
okay. So it's
Yeah,
not on
shit.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's not on Netflix.
Okay.
I think.
So that's probably why, because I don't have the HBOs anymore. Like we
okay.
scrapped it.
I get that.
Yeah,
I should
just
probably
wait.
scrap something like the Amazon one that I haven't.
I have
touched ever.
the Comhem one as well. Like,
Okay, yeah, I didn't know they had one. So
no, they're like, try this for free, and I'm like, yes,
free.
free stuff.
Yeah, but I should probably cancel the Amazon one.
Yeah,
Don't know why
there-
I'm paying for that.
it's a lot of ones that I need to cancel. All right, my is a little bit geekier than Ilias's one because it's animated and it's comic booky, and it is Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Wow, that's a terrible name for anything.
I know, but it
But
is
usually the animation is not. So.
no, the animation, like,
Oh, it's
lately
one of those
the-
in betweens.
it's something happened. I don't know when exactly, but they sort of locked in a certain animation style, and they kept going with it. So it is
Okay.
like it ties into the other ones, and you know I'm past it already. Like I've accepted it. It's not that bad really. But the cool thing about this one is that it is very brutal. Like it is dark, like the name
Dark War.
Yes. And the main antagonist, I guess, of this movie is actually John Constantine, which is a little bit unusual in the Justice League sense.
That's
So
very cool.
it-
Ilias Constantine.
Yes. I know Ilias loves John Constantine.
Especially the one of myself that you made.
Exactly. Still remember doing that.
Yeah.
Took all of 5 minutes. But it's actually a really cool story. If you are a fan of these animated movies and you've seen sort of the other ones, you have to see this one because this is sort of the one that ends this run of these animated movies. They're going to keep doing the animated movies, but the storyline or story arc this is where it finishes within quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, it is a DC movie with all of your favorite heroes, and there's, well, I could pretty much spoil this because it's in the trailer. They all get pretty much ripped to shreds, and you get to see almost pretty much everything. So,
wow, not expecting that.
yeah, have fun with that. It's very horrifying and, yeah, a nice, unique superhero movie in that sense. So,
Cool.
very cool. Cool characters, a lot of blood. So, yeah. And then I saw Sonic.
Again.
I finished it.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
Yes.
you hadn't finished.
Yeah, I hadn't finished it. And yeah, it was still okay.
It's
like,
okay. Yeah.
definitely-
It's a fun movie. If you have kids as well,
Exactly.
It's a great
That's what
movie
I
to
wanted
watch
to say.
together.
It's
yeah.
more of a family type of film. But no, I enjoyed it. I mean, you could only do so much with that character, really, and it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's
Like, it's,
it works for this one movie.
Exactly.
But don't make any more, please.
No, new movies.
Yeah.
But then,
Just move
you
on.
know, the end of it, I don't know if you saw the...
Yeah, I saw the end credits scene.
So, like, we're definitely getting a second one.
Yep.
Because I'm sure it made some
But
money.
I think my kids would like the second movie as well. That's the thing.
And
I
that
don't wanna
character
see
in
it.
particular
Yeah.
that it got introduced at the end is also one of my favorites. So I'm like, yes. You know,
Yes.
it made me super happy.
So yeah, I think because my kid was super excited when they saw the end credit as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that another movie would probably make a lot of cash as well.
Yeah, of course. I wonder which other franchise they're going to be making.
Like that?
Yeah, because now you, like, in the beginning of the movie, obviously you have, like, Paramount Pictures and blah, blah, blah. But Sega has their own thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like, or to me, it feels like they're trying to do their own sort of MCU or whatever.
Yeah, they
So, but
SSU.
what SSU? What characters do Sega have? Because I was never a Sega kid, and I only
SSU.
played Sega at your house or Atul's house,
Yeah.
and that's it. So, what do they have? Like,
Dude, they had Strider, they had
what's the coolest thing in the Sega universe?
in the Sega
Ninja-
universe.
what are
Ninja
they called?
Gaiden
Ninja
they
Gaiden?
had? Yeah, they had Ninja Gaiden, I think. Or like some ninja game. But I think Strider was one game that was, I think you were like, I think you were that little acrobatic dude. Shit, I don't remember Sega games that well anymore.
That's the thing.
I had tons of them. I was just like, when my dad gave it away, I just like...
Golden
never looked.
Axe. That was the
Golden
thing,
Axe? Was that on Sega?
wasn't it?
Maybe there was... Like, I remember it in arcade, but I don't remember if it wasn't.
Altered
like,
Beasts.
Altered Beast was one, yeah.
Yeah.
Power up. Love that game. Fuck, that was awesome. I want to see that. No, just kidding. I don't want to see
No, like, but I'm sure they will probably
Yeah,
make
dude.
a movie like
that.
that.
Maybe. Not that one. I don't think so.
Actually,
think
I
that-
would love to see that fucking movie.
Just
come
as
to
a
think of
dumb
it,
movie, yes, but
like,
not as a proper
You have a
movie,
person going through zombies, just becoming first like a werewolf and then like a dragon or like.
Yeah, you could become something else as well. Okay, I haven't... Oh, sorry. Sega is so interesting. No, I'm
Yes,
just kidding.
exactly. But yeah. So I finished Sonic and that was good.
Mhm.
What else
Cool
did you?
Spot was on Nintendo.
Cool
Super Nintendo. Yeah, Cool Spot. You were like that little spot, the red one with the sunglasses, the cool one.
Oh shit!
Cool
Yeah.
Spot.
I only remember the
But-
box.
But for like the SNES, the Super Nintendo, it would be cool to see like a Bugsy, or was it Bubsy or
Bugsy,
Bugsy?
Mhm.
Not Bubsy.
not Bubsy.
Okay, yeah, because
Bugsy.
that one I really enjoyed.
That was
Like-
one of the characters I learned how to draw from tracing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Mhm.
And just going full circle there,
Yes.
motherfucker. But yeah, I traced him as well from like Nintendo magazines and stuff because I remember you having that game
Yeah.
and
I
loving
loved
it.
I loved
and
it.
I don't remember, like, somebody stole the yarn balls or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
But-
I don't remember
Yeah.
anything apart
But that
from
one
it being
feels like
fun.
you could sort of, like, blend it into our world as well and make
Earthworm
another
Jim.
Earthworm Jim. But that one had a cartoon as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was equally awesome in my head, at least.
I don't remember the cartoon.
I'll probably Google it or, like,
Yeah.
YouTube it and just see if the show was as good as I remember it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, actually.
Earthworm
wouldn't mind
Jim.
seeing-
Do-do-do-do-do-boo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember the actual words.
No, no.
But I love the idea of this like robotic suit, and then there was a worm in it, and he could do all these crazy things.
Yeah. But that game was so much fun, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was the right amount of difficult. You know, like you
Yeah.
could get pretty far in that game,
Mm-hmm.
and the animation with the dogs, you know, in the scrapyard with the tires and shit. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Just
it was
straight
like,
up
and
fun.
that weird cow that always was there, you know, and you
I don't
flung
even
it up in
remember.
the air and shit. And
I
it
don't
was
remember
just, like,
it.
dumb shit.
Yeah.
But that one, I wouldn't mind seeing a comeback. I think my son would love it.
Yeah.
Just like this super buff robotic body and then a worm.
I'm pretty
Just,
sure
like,
it's
attached to it.
like just like the Turtles. Like
Mhm.
it's just one of those what would you call it? IPs or whatever characters that's like undieable. Like it's
Undieable? That's
yeah,
the word you're going to go for?
That's my Swedish brain trying to speak English, I guess. Immortal. Dull.
You heard it here first, people. Undieable.
I am fucking undieable.
Yeah, we're not doing a double episode today.
No.
Who knows what the next one will
Oh
be.
man.
But yeah.
yeah. No,
I do get
he is like an immortal character and just so iconic is what I mean. Really.
But would he work today? Do you know what I mean? Like would-
Definitely.
think?
Definitely. Yeah. He was funny.
Yeah, but I feel that it's like it's not the type of hero. Like, as I'm not seeing like biker mice from Mars, and you know, like the turtles survived all of it, but the other stuff really didn't make
But
it that
that's
far.
why I'm like because Earthworm Jim feels a lot more in line with the turtles than let's say biker mice.
I don't know. I feel like the Earthworm Jim felt darker than, you know,
Definitely.
turtles in all ways.
But the turtles were dark as well. Like they're based in
Yeah, of course,
like,
the
from-
original, yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean the cartoon ones where they were like,
But
"I have
everything is dark
sword."
today.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Like even Justice League.
but I'm talking about like younger kids.
I know.
Cartoons, you know,
But they're
like-
dark too.
But I would like to see some comebacks from some old shows. Like I would love to see Thundercats. You know, like they did the one that's out now on
I haven't-
Viaplay.
Oh, is it?
I've seen the 2 first episodes.
How does it?
I thought it was funny, and I would see that kids would enjoy it.
Okay.
You know, like because it's made for kids now.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of like that version, but I would also like to see a version that is more of a story in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you rewatch the old ones, they suck so much dick that
Oh, yeah.
it's horrible. Like you just suffer through them.
Like you suffer through them because of the fucking
Nostalgia.
intro.
Yeah, exactly.
The
that.
intro
like, is the only thing
that-
worth
yeah.
watching. All the animation money is right there.
Yeah.
But I would love to see, because I know there was a remake back in 2010 or something where they did the modern Thundercats
Yeah,
type
that
of thing.
was that.
That
the
one was actually even good.
because
People,
that's the one I thought you were talking about.
no.
So they've made
yeah.
another remake.
Yeah, there's one that is more of a super cartoony Cartoon Network style of, you know, like
Teen
super-
Titans.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but even
goofy.
sillier, you know, like even goofier than that.
Really?
Like, yeah, but it's like I kind of
Why
liked
would
it.
Why would they go that route with?
Yeah, people no, but
Thundercats?
people
Like-
flipped the fuck out when they saw it. But like, I don't know if I watched that with my kids, which I will definitely do. So that's why I haven't watched past because the
like-
2 pilot episodes that I saw, it was like a double episode pilot.
Yeah.
I watched that, you know, like on some streaming website, but now it's on Viaplay, I think, and I'm definitely watching that with my kids because I think it's going to be like so much fun to watch with my kids. And
Oh Jesus!
yeah, and it's like super simplistic, cartoony. And we were already watching a show like that called Mau Mau. And it is brilliant. Like Mau Mau is brilliant. I think that one is on HBO. But it is, dude, like we laugh because it's like again like silly cartoon like this, but they're well animated. You know, like they're really well animated, and there's no difference in this one. Like,
Okay.
but it looks, I don't know, like it looks a bit like. Oh man, I don't even
I don't
know what
know
to
the-
compare it to.
I-
But it feels like a Cartoon Network. Like if you look at this one, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, I scrolled down and
Yeah.
looked at all of them. They really have that sort of almost Samurai Jack feel, but smoother or rounder shapes. Samurai Jack was very
Yeah,
hard
it was
edged.
very hard. But I feel that
Um,
was different.
But
I don't
like,
know.
yeah,
I feel
that it's a Cartoon Network.
Cartoon
Yeah,
Network thing.
That's
yeah.
what it is. Like, yeah,
And-
Dexter's Laboratory.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Basically that type of thing,
goofy animation
Yeah.
style.
but super
yeah.
modern, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, but I don't know. Like I liked what they did with it as a sort of like a spin-off, but I would totally love to because I never watched the 2010 Thundercats.
No, me neither. And I'm really
and
interested.
I heard really good things about it, so I
Oh,
might
really?
go back and
Okay.
'cause it had an actual story that didn't suck dick.
That should be easy to find on YouTube, though.
Yeah,
Right?
or somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
I'll-
thinking of just checking that one out because I
Yeah.
heard even my brother watched it. And
When
he
can you
was
ever
like-
trust your brother?
Yeah, I know, but I mean, just that he
That he
went
actually
to the
watched
trouble
it? Mm-hmm.
of watching anything, you know, that wasn't, you know, like
Crank.
Yeah, basically, yes. Oh my god, that or like the, you know, like the
Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like that.
God, I fucking
Yeah,
know it. Yeah. Oh.
And motherfucker, he's like, just all that.
I just keep seeing his
Yeah.
selfies
Dude, yeah,
Like
fuck
with-
that. With the knives.
with
kitchen
knives and
knives.
the crosses. And
Yeah,
the-
oh man. And like, are you religious? No. Just gangster.
yeah. So
yeah, so
extremely
moving on.
gangster. Moving on. Yeah. But speaking of Samurai Jack, actually, have you seen the last season?
I haven't seen any, like, except the ones when it started airing,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't seen anything. Like, because I remember the comeback trailer was epic.
Yeah, I think I only watched maybe 3 or 4 episodes or something, and I liked it. I did, so I haven't finished it
Okay, maybe I should revisit that one. as
because
well.
looking
Yeah.
at that, it sort of gave me a flashback of oh shit,
Yeah,
that
maybe
came
I should-
out.
I don't know where to watch Samurai Jack anymore
I watched it on I think it was Crunchyroll
because
Like-
I don't have Crunchyroll and I can't sign up to another one.
No, I don't want another one. I'm sure it's on YouTube.
I'm
You could
just
probably find
checking
a lot of it.
Samurai Jack. Nope.
I saw the first episode on YouTube and
Mhm.
then Crunchyroll, I think, or
I hate that when
or
they don't
Animation
make
Lab
them
or something. Anime Lab.
accessible.
Fuck it. But that was really it. It seemed really cool. The premise of it was nice. It's just cool to see Jack sort of grown up more and just like grown
Yeah.
into his character. Like what
Yeah.
would happen
Yeah.
if you get stuck in this futuristic realm, which he did
Oh,
for
maybe
that
not.
long. Like
Oh shit! It's on HBO.
no way.
Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Holy shit. Okay.
All right.
So I'm
I
getting
know what
HBO
I'm
again.
doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm canceling
crap.
my fucking Comhem, whatever the fuck that is.
Okay, this is awesome. Yeah.
And then, yeah,
For
I'm getting
HBO.
HBO back.
Yeah.
Fuck, HBO has good stuff.
No, it does have good stuff. It's gotten way better. The app still sucks. All the decks like that we've mentioned.
Yeah, oh
on
yeah.
all the episodes we've ever done.
Actually, I think I have an email that I haven't used yet, so I can get like a free month.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
Just
That's all you need, man.
yes. What else?
I did watch something else.
What else?
Scissor 7.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, it's fucking like it's a
It's so-
Chinese one actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they speak Mandarin because I was like, this is not Japanese because that's what I was expecting, like another like anime show.
I watched
but
the
then-
English dub.
Oh, I didn't because it's so dumb that I had to watch it in Chinese. And no, the cartoon is so stupid.
Oh yeah.
So it's basically this guy with no memory that just decides to become an assassin because you can make money.
Yeah.
And it just gets stupider from that point on. He has telekinesis that he could but he can only use it on a pair of scissors for some reason. And it is so dumb. And he has like these like eggs that he can toss and transform into anything he thinks of.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that pretty much sets the base for the stupidity that I've seen for the first 8 episodes of season.
Yeah, I only saw the first episode.
But for some reason, you keep watching. I don't know what it is. It's not like there is a plot, an underlying plot, and it's just so weird. But I just can't stop watching. I don't know why.
Does it like get better?
Yeah, it's well animated, like it has that silly style
Yeah.
to it, and I don't know, even the music sort of like when I hear it, I'm just like, I like it. I don't know, like there's something about this show. Like I want to know who the hell he is, although you sort of figure it out, I think. There might be a curveball around the corner, you don't know.
Probably not.
But no. But it's still like, it's just fun to see what they do with it. I don't know if it's just me enjoying animation when it's like experimental, because that's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing like, if you've seen the like sort of like the that they have in that show, that is basically just him jumping in the air doing like weird flips and spinning and stuff, and then this loop music is playing and then it starts again. Just that part I love, and it's so like the animation doesn't feel like anime where it follows this thing. It just feels like they're trying stupid shit, and it's also nonsensical and a bit childish. Like they poke him in the butt when he turns into a box, or something, and it's just stupid. And it's just there's something about it though that just like you keep watching.
So it's like the Chinese version of Rick and Morty, but with assassin person.
I don't even know.
But it feels like a lot of shows have really adapted to the Rick and Morty style, where it's just very crazy improvisational material.
Yeah,
like,
but
nothing really makes sense, and it's just like this random shit happens all the time. I'm getting really sick of it because it's such a unique thing for Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I don't feel that this is anywhere close to Rick
but
and Morty.
I started watching that other animated show that seems like a Rick and Morty ripoff with the virtual reality
where
thing.
he puts his head in a vagina.
Exactly, that thing.
Yeah, that one.
I started watching the first episode.
Okay.
Have you started?
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I've
Okay.
seen the first one and the second one.
Okay, I didn't even finish the first one.
Okay.
Because I got so sick of it straight away. The first 15 minutes is just them talking about drugs and different.
Keeps going.
Okay.
For the whole episode.
Yeah, I was like, nope. Like this is too like on the nose or like in your face that. Yeah, you're definitely a stoner and you're going to love this show because it's just like Rick and Morty, but it's not Rick and Morty.
I don't know.
Like,
I didn't feel like it.
That's
it's the
how I
guy
took it.
from Adventure Time. That's the people behind it. And I don't know. I don't get that Rick and Morty
that
vibe,
makes sense though. Like the way they talk, it feels very Adventure Time-ish. Yeah, okay.
But I really liked Adventure Time for at least the first 4 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, I never got into Adventure Time. Like I only saw. I think we talked about it.
I watched it with my kids. I don't think I would have gotten into it by myself.
Because it is very silly. Like
it is very silly,
and it like to the point where I think it's too silly.
Okay, but that's my thing though. I enjoy the animation and the story behind it as well. I guess I had that going in. Is that the guy wanted to make a cartoon, nobody believed in him and shit, and then he fucking did it anyway, and he fucking made this whole fucking thing. It's like 13 fucking seasons or whatever the fuck the show is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just like managed to pull it off when no one else, like that underdog story, basically.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Well, so I gave both Scissor 7 and that show like a try, and I didn't get into it. And that's the thing. Like I don't know. Maybe it's everything has. It's more of a hard sale for me now.
Mm-hmm.
Like or sell, hard sell for me. Like when I get into a new or try getting into a new show, I have so many different criterias that it needs to like hit before I can accept it and watch the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time it just fails. Like it doesn't keep me interested for long enough to keep watching it.
Yeah, I can relate because I do that with everything.
Yeah.
And what they do in the shadows for me is like I just watch all 6 episodes.
That's awesome.
When it comes to some shows, like BoJack Horseman is awesome. Like it's such a good show, and I've said that before, but I can't watch it all the time.
No.
Like I need breaks. So I've accepted that. I know that it's out there. I know that it's completed. So I can go in and out of it as I feel like it.
Same with Archer for me.
Archer, I fucking binge because I had a fever and I watched it. You know, over 3 days, I watched all the seasons that were out.
And you slept for half of all that time.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I went back and watched them.
But yeah, that's just like BoJack for me.
Yeah,
like same. You could just jump into it anytime, whenever it sort of scroll by it. Sometime you like automatically click it. Almost same with Family Guy for me as well.
I haven't seen
Family Guy for me is very nostalgia now, and it's sort of a safe space. You know, you just like that you're not gonna love it, but you're not gonna hate it. Like it's still gonna be entertaining in a little bit. But still, for me, Rick and Morty there's just something about that fucking show that is spot on the humor that I really want right now. Like, even going back and watching from episode 1, it still holds up. Like, I love it so much, and really love so when you're listening to this, I've only seen episode 4.6 and 7. So I haven't seen the rest, which, well, at this point should be only 3 released. But it's all equally good. Like, I could see any episode out of all 4 seasons and I would still love it. Like, I don't know a lot of shows that are that good and random.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a linear story.
No, it isn't really. And
it's just random adventures every time. It's amazing. Like, it's such a brilliant show in that way. And that's where I think...
They can tell unique stories with the same characters, basically.
Exactly.
Over and over,
There is no limit to anything.
But have they done the thing where they talk about what has happened in previous episodes at all? Like, do you know what I mean?
Just the ones, I think, for reintroducing the... evil Morty character.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of. And in episode 4.6, they do a little bit of that, but sort of in a different way without spoiling it.
Without spoiling, I'm going to watch it, so. Maybe I should watch that one first and then go to Samurai Jack.
Yeah. I would definitely.
It's a shorter investment and then go to Samurai
Exactly.
Jack.
But then again, I mean... If you haven't seen any of season 4 yet, you might as well wait just 3 more weeks or whatever.
Oh, shit.
Because then you get the full season.
Yeah, that's true.
And, I mean, they're only 20 minutes, just like Samurai Jack. So by the time you finish Samurai Jack, hopefully all of them will be close to
That's what I appreciate, though, with, like, Western animation, that there is no fucking waste of time.
No.
Not at all. Like,
exactly.
That's why I can't, like...
It's just a new episode.
Just thinking about anime makes me angry.
Yeah.
It's about the fucking backstory from the previous episode that you just watched. And
I went Frozen 2 on those bitches.
Yes, I just can't. I can't watch shit like that.
Yeah,
like it just pisses me off.
I go back and I watch the good ones. That's sort of where I'm at now. Like Samurai Champloo, like it just always holds up.
You just keep
Cowboy
moving
Bebop
forward.
still same. Cowboy Bebop is sort of the same as Rick and Morty for me because every episode, apart from a few of them, are just single stories, which are just great. And you can just jump into them whenever the fuck you feel like seeing a good.
Yeah, I think the baseball one that we've talked about
With
so many
Champloo,
times
yes.
on Champloo is just like brilliant standalone episode
Exactly.
because it progresses the story. Nothing. I think
Exactly.
they get a clue or something from that.
Yeah.
winning
Oh,
or
yeah.
something,
No,
but
but there's always like.
but you don't
in
really
the end.
need that part.
No.
That episode is about baseball that I'm not interested in at all.
Exactly.
But it is a fun episode.
And it's, I guess, like with shows like that, they just build the characters more, so you get more and more invested in the characters.
Yeah.
Not like the story and
Yeah, they're not
arc
trying to
and
earn time there.
No.
Like that's a goofball episode that because they love what they do want to give you a fun experience, and that's what it is. Not like
And you
Naruto.
feel it.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
Naruto where they're like, oh, we'll have the second animation team do this like poorly drawn episode that you're gonna hate.
Yeah.
And we know they're gonna hate it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I've given up on all of that.
Yeah, no,
Pretty
I
much.
can't do it either. Like that's why I love well animated shows like that don't waste your time.
Yes.
But yeah, I had a hard time with that Adventure Time follow-up thing.
Oh, yeah.
With the virtual vagina machine and
what is that show called?
something Valley.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Uncanny Valley.
No, it's but it is something with Valley, I think. Valley. Let's see here.
That's how much I cared. Like, not
No,
even
dude,
remembered
I don't even
a
know.
single fuck.
It is not called anything like that. I have no idea what it's called.
Awesome. A fun little documentary movie that I saw was
Midnight Gospel.
Jesus
Christ. So simple. Yeah, I don't know, like, if I should give it, because I think the show is finding itself, but I don't know if it's for me. Like, the
What was
first
this-
episode, like you said,
What was the second episode about?
the second episode was about, let's see what it says. Yeah, something about clown babies. They're sharing a reindeer dog with their... No, a reindeer dog shares his thought about death on his way to be butchered. Something. They're just too,
Yeah.
trying to be weird.
That's the thing.
And
that's
the first one with the drug thing,
exactly.
it's basically like listening to a Joe Rogan podcast episode, which I enjoy, but it's basically that drug agenda. You
exactly.
know, like, it's just like
so in your face. Like
it doesn't
you know.
feel fun. It's just like I like the idea of them talking through the zombie apocalypse
Yeah,
thing.
that was a fun
That was
twist.
a fun thing, but it just like never gets interesting.
No.
It's just a conversation while the episode is going, and it could have been good if the conversation had any type of flair, like fun to it.
Depth.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it just feels like you
And at
said,
that
like,
point,
too
you
much
don't
on
even
the
know,
money.
you don't even know the character. You don't even know
Yeah.
who is this guy and why is he doing this? Like
yeah.
you know
No,
nothing.
but they give you a little bit of that he travels like, oh, what do we do today, computer? Or,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
He travels into these worlds, but I just didn't feel it. I don't know. But maybe it's the show finding itself. Maybe it becomes better. Maybe
Yeah.
it stays the same. You know, like you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Uh,
But check it out if you want to look
Yeah.
at a cartoon character put his head in a vagina.
there,
If
yeah.
that's your thing.
And speaking of like glorifying drugs and all that, there's I started to say it, but a documentary movie about hallucinogenic, so like drugs that make your mind expand, like acid, LSD, ayahuasca, DMT, all of that stuff. But it's you're interviewing celebrities that are retelling different stories of good or bad trips that they've had. And like really, so even though they do glorify this a little bit, it is angled. They still bring up a lot of like bad trips and stuff like that. And it's called A Good Trip or Have a Good Trip, I think. And it's sort of guided by Ron Swanson, what's his name? Nick Offerman. And yeah, it's just, I don't know. If you're remotely interested in the effects of hallucinogenics, I can't speak anymore, I definitely recommend it. It's fun. It's got a lot of fun animation stuff in it too. So like, it's almost like you're getting to trip without actually having to take any drugs. And everything with like a little bit of the, as we call it, the shine in your eye, or the, like with a smirk. Like, I don't know. It's an upbeat, fun documentary movie. So yeah, I don't know. Lack of other things to talk about.
I have one.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just needed to say that I saw on Netflix now. One show that me and my daughter have been watching since it came out, and it's She-Ra.
I was just gonna say.
And it's season 5 is out, and I'm so amazed. Like, I hope they're being treated well, but they've already released 5 seasons.
It felt like it came out like half a year ago.
Exactly. What fucking pace are these meta-humans working on?
That's weird.
They produce the show so fast. I'm a bit scared that it's not always the great circumstances when shit like this is happening, but it's a great show to watch with your kids or alone. Like, it's super fun. Even if you have kids, like, here in Sweden, you can even watch it in Swedish, and it's fun. Like,
Nice.
you know, like, when I've said, like, some translations nowadays, they just work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like the people that read or, like, you know, like, dub these movies, they understand what they're dubbing, and they do it, you know, with understanding the source material or, like, the feelings behind it. So it doesn't become, you know, this weird translations where you lose some of the fun and, you know, like, playfulness to it. So they're really good.
Cool.
So we've laughed, we've, you know, like, just, like, really enjoyed this show. So now the 5th season is out. So if you want to binge a lot of She-Ra, this is, you know, your opportunity to do so.
20-minute episodes?
Yeah, same again. And I don't know if this is the last one, though, or if they're going to do more, because it feels like we're getting to, you know, like, the end game here. But I don't know. Like, we'll see. I hope that they do, like, maximum of one more, because the problem with these shows is once you go past, you know, the main story, it really, you're just milking it.
Yeah.
So
Well, we saw that with the turtles. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the first 2 episodes that were great, and then
Yeah, there was
just
nothing
fillers.
there, yeah. Basically, fuck. You just looked for the episodes where they had crossovers, you know, with Usagi or Yimbo and stuff, and they probably sucked as well. But there was, like, a new character that you enjoyed. But yeah, that is my last tip.
Yeah.
Watch She-Ra. There's like 5 episodes, then go to Samurai Jack, then go to, you know, like, all the other things we've said.
Yeah. Yeah, by next episode, I will have watched a lot of other stuff. So
I've just watched those things.
I just bought Jojo Rabbit.
I so want to see that, because that's
yeah.
Taika Waititi as well, right?
Yes. So, and what else did I get? I got the 1917 movie, like the war movie. That's supposed to be one shot. Like, the whole movie is a continuous shot in...
Oh, shit, I was thinking of Dunkirk. Never mind.
Yeah, it's similar. Like,
And they're basically all the
like
same.
the same type of movie. But it's supposed to be very woo. So by next week, I will have seen both of those.
Cool.
Yeah. So get ready for some fun and exciting reviews of movies.
Yay. And also, keep an eye out for Ilias's live streams on Instagram. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
That was a terrible robot voice, Robert.
That was
Probably
not.
mine was.
It
as
wasn't
well,
even a robot voice.
Wasn't it?
No,
That was just Robert tired.
Robert powering down, because I am a robot.
Wow.
People, I don't know.
I'm super
That was like
impressed.
my
I'm
nickname.
super impressed.
I never got a nickname, and then somebody was like, "But your name is Robot," and they tried to make that like a nickname.
And then now they're dead.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Yes, so I'm happy again.
Yes.
Yeah. God, I am so tired right now.
So we're doing a double episode, Robert?
Whee! So yeah,
Yeah.
rate the podcast and tell everybody, and have a fantastic week, everybody.
Exactly.
And we'll see you next time we see you.
Up and
Scottish!
love you, people.
Fuck you.
There